Yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Hello.
Hi, how was today?
Today was cool. It was a fun experience. Yes, it was cool.
That's good. Okay.
hmm
I actually have not heard anything, so I was curious
hmm
how it went for you. Hi, Dominique.
Hello, hello. Hi, everybody.
Um, um, I know today is a little crazy. Have people, I know some that are driving, I think in class, but it's all good. I know it's going to always be a little crazy as the industry itself is. But yeah, so today I wanted to just kind of the other day we just was talking about um a little bit about manifestation and like law of attraction and just speaking certain things into existence and allowing that to be more frequent in your daily practice or routine. Um, Vision boards, which is something everybody has to do. Definitely, I would say, I mean, clear, it's perfect because it's the beginning of the year, but I would say think about this month having it done just so that you can kind of just set the tone, especially now more so than ever. It's just so much going on. It's like you gotta make sure we are feeding ourselves what we're needing to get through. So that can be a vision board, anything that you think is like something that you want to always have visually for you that you can see whatever that goal, dream, whatever it is, putting that in a visual form. So we just kind of talked about like you can do a vision board. I don't have them in here, but like a vision board, pictures, of course, but even just sayings, things that you think about and maybe haven't really actually gone forward and did some printouts of it and cut it out or whatever, like there's ways to kind of make that a reality. And also with the affirmations, we just want to make that more of not just reading it like we write it on our sticky notes or you put it on the wall and you read it and you say it out loud, but then also taking it a step further and writing it repeatedly in a journal or putting it in like a voice note like in your phone so that instead of listening to the garbage sometimes that's on the radio, which it could be, what I'm saying? It ain't even so much sexy red I can take. So I just have to make sure you're like, what are you listening to? And, sometimes it's like, well, I just need to listen to myself and hear my own thoughts and my own, affirmations. And so doing a voice note of having that type of confirmation and listening to that. It could be in the car or it could be at the gym, it could be at your job, working, whatever, you're listening to something that is saying you are all of the things that you're saying you want or that you are, and affirming that. So those are like, I would say lifelong practices. I definitely started like the vision board when I was a dancer. That was in like 2000. I would say like six or seven. And I just did my best to make it a practice every year. Like I did a vision board and it works. So, you know what I'm saying? This ain't something that's like, oh, no, it works. It has worked, even from going into my adulthood. And some things I said like the other night, like just be specific. Cause you can say, oh, like I want to dance for an artist. Okay. But then, the artist that you dancing for might not be really the artist that you really want to dance for. So just being specific on, yes, I want to dance for platinum selling artists. So let me get a CD platinum, like a plaque or something, picture of that, and if it's a specific artist, of course, but just kind of being a little bit more detailed in our vision. And that's something that I just kind of want to talk about today, just like really being clear on the dream because we we in autopilot will be like moving, just going like, yeah, I just want to do the dance and I want to do this and that. And it's not really, it's like kind of like, I'm not really sure versus, you know, how, like, for instance, if you had to do like a business plan or you had to do something that was like a paper, you know, or something that's like, it's specific, like, this is what I'm writing my paper on, woo woo, right? So for us, when we say like, okay, my dream is to travel the world, I want to visit countries like I want to visit the continent of Asia. I want to visit countries, Australia, Dubai, whatever. Like you start getting a little bit more specific on the things that you want, and then also the people you want to work with. You know, and as outrageous and as crazy as it sounds, sometimes it's like, but if it's the truth, if you really want to dance for Chris Brown, we can't be afraid to say that. You know, if you want to dance for everybody's like, you know, Beyonce was the go-to. So if you want to dance for whoever, you want to work with whoever, you know, we gotta just not be afraid to say that, think that, speak it, write it, whatever, put it on the vision board, whatever. And then just getting clear on your dreams. So uh one issue that I had, I think I definitely wasn't clear. I just knew I wanted to dance and then I just moved. So I didn't really know nothing. So I was like, I don't know, I'm just figuring out. I know I want to do more of what I just did. So where's this in LA? Okay, I'm gonna go to LA. But obviously years later, I saw there were so many other things that I like as I was moving forward, like I had other dreams and aspirations for. So it's important that you get clear on the dream for like present, you know, future and long term, of course. So if you know you want to like, if you know you want to eventually have whatever 10 years from now, whatever, cool. Like you can put that on the vision board. You can start thinking about those things. But then let's think about what are some like our immediate, like within the 6 months to a year to 2 years, I would say, to 3 years, 5 years. Like what are those things that we want to see happen? And let's see how fast we can make some of those like you know, show up. So if you are thinking, oh, I want to work with such and such, you may in your mind think that that seems far off or not tangible in the moment, and it's actually closer than you think. And it's also going to be in another capacity. So you may think how I'm going to meet this person is going to be one day when I'm at the audition, and it may not be the audition. It might be at a event or a function or a social gathering or you know a class that they showed up at. So at the airport, like dancers have ended up, we'll talk about somebody and they're like, oh my God, I ran into them at the airport and we had a whole conversation and it was crazy. And I'm like, yeah, like, cause you thought you was going to see them in a class or at an audition and no, you actually met them at the airport, you know, and then you had an even closer encounter. So, so just getting clear on the dream. What is the dream? Everybody's dream is different. Everybody's like goals obviously are different, but also what just getting clear on what that looks like, because if you aren't clear, it's just going to take longer to see some of that like manifest in real time. So if I know I'm like, I am absolutely trying to be on TV show. I want to be on a TV series. I want to be, you know, in a recurring role, or I want to dance for sure on a TV series that's on Netflix, you know, whatever, you know. So then we can start like, all right, okay, let's get even more dialed in on that. If it's Netflix, now you're definitely watching shows on Netflix. You are definitely like zeroing in on certain things. Everything will start to shift a little differently. You'll start watching TV differently. It won't be just almost for pleasure all the time, but more so for like research, you know, like what shows are on here. It's like, oh, I want to be on a series. Okay. All American. Ooh, yes. Okay. I can see myself on there, CW. But then they be on Netflix too. And now I'm like, oh, okay, well, who works on All American? Because I know I done seen some dance scenes. So now I'm thinking, oh, well, who choreographed? So now I'm starting to think about how do I make that thing a reality? I've already put out, I want to work on this type of show on Netflix. So let me try to do the work part, and then the universe will figure out a way to make it happen. So if I know All American is a show I want to work on, Okay, I've seen the choreo on there. I've seen some choreography on there. So there's somebody that choreographed for this show. Who is that person? Now I'm researching. I'm trying to look at the credits, or I'm like, I'm trying to find somebody is anybody posted anything about this episode that had dancing and choreo in it. And now I'm finding out, oh, Rhapsody James is the choreographer for this show. I had no idea. Oh my gosh. Now all of a sudden I'm following Rhapsody on Instagram or social or whatever, and now I'm commenting on her page because I know she choreographs for this show that I'm dying to be on, and it's my dream to work on. And now I'm getting in that frequency. I gotta figure out like, all right, Rhapsody James, the choreographer. Okay, now I'm finding out who else has been on these shows, like what other dancers. Oh my God, I recognize her. She's dances for such and such, and I already follow her. So I'm like getting in the world. That's how you got to do it. It can't just be like, oh, I want to work on All American, but I don't know how and when I want to work on that show, and that's it. And I'm thinking, I don't know, one day I'm just going to go to class and it's going to happen magically. No, I know that I got to figure out how to get in front of Rhapsody James. So I follow her now. Now I'm like, oh, she don't. I find some choreo that she's done. Let me learn the choreo. Let me post that and tag her. So then I can get on her radar at least. And now I posted a class. I've tagged her. And now, I'm commenting on her page. So now I'm on her radar. So just like that, within a short span of time, I have figured out how to maneuver to get to Rhapsody James. Now that I'm on her radar, I'm getting my stuff together because at some point I'm going to slide in her DM and let her know what a huge fan I am of her, and her work is like phenomenal. And I love the show, the choreo on All American. I would be honored one day to have the opportunity to audition for you. If you're ever needing dancing, I can work as a local. Like I would love to come to LA. Woo doo doo. Like I've done all of the background checking and working and getting my stuff together so that when I slide in her DM, or I'm sure her contact info is on her Instagram page, profile. I may have emailed her my stuff, my resume, my headshot. I've made connections with her. She recognizes my name because I've commented on her post. So it's not some random person that she's never seen before. No, you've seen me. I've showed up. I've slid on your page. I've commented on all your posts. I've liked it. I'm engaged with you. Why? Because I want to work with you. I want to dance on the show that you choreograph for because it's my dream. So like how you know what the dream, and when you know what the dream is, then all we gotta do is work that to get to where all of a sudden you're working with Rhapsody James and you are on All American. Because they had an audition and she loved your stuff and she remembered you hitting her up, and now you done flew all the way out here to LA to audition with dudes. Like, so these are all like scenarios that are actually real. These aren't just like, oh, it'll never happen that way. Yes, it will happen that way. That's how you have to, in your mind, say it's going to happen. This is the thing that I'm going to put in play. So if I know my dream is to work on All American, I've already set it in my mind. I'm going to be on that show one day. You know, fill in the blank, whatever your dream is. But I'm just using that as an example. I want to work on All American, Rhapsody James, choreographer. How do I get in her? How do I get in her view? How do I get him? And I've done that because I've already been clear on one of my dreams. One of my dreams is to work on this show. So you can do that for every single thing that you desire, but then the other stuff will come, in between there. It'll be other moments that'll happen or other opportunities that'll show up that you won't even be realizing like, oh, I didn't see that coming, but I'm already in the means of working towards some of these goals. I've already said some of these things that I wanted, and some of those things will start to show up faster. So once you get clear on the dream, you've written it down, you have like you thinking about it, you're also in a state of obsession. So I make this joke all the time because, I be telling dancers, I'm like, if y'all, if you say you want to dance or be in the creative space or professional in the industry, and you haven't reached a level of obsession, then it's kind of just like, it just sounds good. It's like, oh yeah, I want to dance. And so I'm a professional dancer. It's like, that sounds good when you say it, but it's like, when you say that, you got to really mean it, meaning I'm saying I want to be a professional dancer. Why? Because I am obsessed with everything about it. I literally dream about being on stage. I can't wait to tour. I can't wait to, be on this set. I know all of Jaquel Knight's choreography because I'm obsessed with him. I gotta like work with him one day. I know all of the routines he's taught with all the art. Like I have reached a level of obsession and delusion because I'm going to definitely work with him one day, and I'm flying out to wherever I got to go, wherever he's teaching. Because why? I gotta work with Jaquel Knight. I'm ready for. I can't wait till he has an audition. I'm there. I'm pulling up. I'm flying out. I'm doing whatever I gotta do because I have reached a level of obsession doing this. So that is something that is you can't force that. I can't like make you want it. I've met dancers where I wanted it more than they did, and they just weren't in the obsession space. So, and I understand that. When you are obsessed, that means like your dream consumes you. It's like I can't think of nothing else. I'm at this job. Today I was driving and I was looking at somebody doing whatever job they was doing, and I was like imagining doing that job, and I was like, I would be thinking about how to dance while I was doing this job. It was just random thought, and it reminded me of like you really got to stay hungry, and the want and the desire has to be like stronger than ever. So if you aren't obsessed with wanting to pursue this, like not just fully, but like regardless if you have a full-time job, you're doing it on the side. So, it doesn't matter. We all got side jobs, hustles, and all that. So if you're not obsessed with it, it's going to be hard to like push through the shit that you're going to have to deal with to get to the dream. It's like, I got to do what? To go see Jaquel? Yes. You got to figure out how to fly to New York or LA or wherever he at to get to him because I want to work with him. Like, I want to dance for him. I want to work on his jobs. I want him to see me. I want whatever that is. I want that. So yeah, I'm gonna get through whatever that is. And so I've already mentally gone to that place. And it is really hard when you don't see it in the beginning. You're like, I'm obsessed, but oh Lord, this is taking a long time. It's like I'm going to be obsessed until it happens. Like I'm never going to not be obsessed, even when it happens. Like, okay, and again, I want it to happen again. So being obsessed about your dream is like so crucial and necessary, and it will be hard to justify all of the stuff that you're going to go through and like to get to the dream if you're not. If you're subpar, like, if you're like, sometimes I'm, ready to go all, and sometimes it's like whatever, then it's going to be difficult. But if you know, like, yes, this is something that I cannot live without, and I think about it all the time, then you know that it's something that won't ever go away. And so whether you decide to pursue it or not, or stop or whatever, it's still going to be there. You're still going to circle back to it. So today, there was an audition, and there were people that I know had stopped and was like, I'm hanging my shoes up, and they were back, So it's like, it ain't gonna never like go away. So knowing you're clear on the dream, and you have to be have so much conviction about not necessarily when it's going to happen, or because a dream is it's relative. How you see your dream being could be completely different in the time span it takes. So it may not be tomorrow. It may take years for it to happen, but you're going to like do the work to get there, right? So there is no time span, but there also you just have to know that it's just a matter of when, and it's not if it's coming, but it's just when. And I'm making a place myself, or promising myself that I'm going to do the work to make that thing a reality. That's it. That's all your job is, to just work. Okay. So if I'm clear on the dream, and there are times when you're like, things may show up that you didn't plan on showing up, and you're like, hey, I'm actually really good like at acting. And I didn't really think about that until I booked this acting job. And now I'm acting. I'm doing a commercial or whatever. then there are things that'll show up that'll help with the dream. It'll help, like, oh, I can actually go this route too and still do the thing that I dreamt of doing. Hey, I didn't even realize I love working on a television show. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just trying to get to the tour. But here we are. So your dream sometimes will shift and pivot and change. So it's never going to be like end all be all. But just really try your best to be clear so that when it actually comes or happens, then you're like, oh, but this is what I wanted anyway. So I understand how this is happening. So clear on the vision, clear on the goals. This will help also with, like I said before about the why, like, why am I doing this? So needing whatever motivation to keep going and push yourself personally when nobody else is. So when nobody else is around cheering you on, or like, you have to find that inner, like, okay, this is what I said I wanted and it's happening. So clear on the goal, clear on the vision, clear on the dream. Now, once you get clear on all of that, then we just have to decide, okay, so what are some of the sacrifices that I already know I'm going to have to deal with? What is a sacrifice that you know, like, okay, if this happens for me, then I know I'm going to have to do this, that, and the other. So, and we'll talk about it tonight. You guys can tell me, like, for me, one of my biggest sacrifices in deciding to pursue this as a career, well, when I was pursuing my career as a dancer, was I had to move. I had to move. I had to get up out of here. Atlanta at that time was not it. It was like there was nothing here. Okay. I did a movie and then I was like, well, what else? Like, and they was like, they don't ever do this. This is in 2001, too. So it's like 24 years ago. Nothing. Okay. So I was like, oh, well, I got to get out of here. So my sacrifice was one, I was older. So I didn't know at the time. I was like, oh, everybody's like, coming out of high school, and I'm like, I'm 2 years out of college, so I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And I had to go away, so I moved to California, LA. Right now, prayers for LA to pursue my dance career. So my sacrifice was one, I mean, just uprooting, leaving my family in Atlanta, but also just didn't know nobody. I mean, I'm like, ooh, don't know nobody. I mean, I knew a few people and, but I'm a little fish in a big pond, and I did not let the fear of that stop me though. So the sacrifice was, yeah, you're going to move and you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. You're going to have to figure this thing out because there is no blueprint. There is no like, okay, first you do this and then you do this, then you do that, and then you're going to make it. Nah. I was like, I don't know, get out here and you figure it out, girl, because ain't nobody going to help you. Ain't nobody telling you nothing. And it is what it is. But at the core of it, your talent, God has given you this gift to share. So it's something here. I don't know what it is, and I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. So that was like one of my biggest sacrifices. And the best decision in my life, like hands down, regardless of the struggle and tears, and I don't know how to make it. And oh my God, the best decision of my life. Because I just learned so much, grew so much, and it brought me, I'm still here, like still pursuing it. So just curious, you guys can share, come on the mic. What would you say are some of your sacrifices that you have decided, you're doing because you said you trying to do this and this is one of your dreams, but it's there's a cost. It ain't nothing free. It ain't gonna be handed over to you in a big old wrapped up box with a bow on it. saying, here you go, yay, and that's it. Nah. It's gonna be some type of sacrifice. So, and it's everybody's is different. Some people like, oh, I just had to do it, whatever. So what? And if you don't know, let's identify it. What would you say is a sacrifice that you have already mentally prepared yourself for, or that you are dealing with, or have dealt with, or plan to deal with? Go ahead, Tracy.
So like my previous career, and that has definitely been a humbling experience. Everything from societal expectations to family expectations. So like I spoke to you, Kiki, about it earlier, but yeah, like I left a career in finance and I'm African. So it's very much like immigrant daughter must, do this. And I'm firstborn. I'm a firstborn daughter. So it's like my, I'm like the blueprint of my family, and my younger siblings have to follow suit. So I'm here completely throwing parental and family and colleagues' expectations to the wind because I've decided I did that for majority of my 20s and I wasn't happy and I gave up a lot. And, you know, um, I was also engaged and left that because I did not want that life. And I decided that I loved dance so much that it was the number one thing that was always a constant in my life, even when I wasn't able to dance because I was stuck in the office for 18-hour days. And
Mm-hmm.
I just, it got to a point where I didn't want to wake up in 20 years in like a corner office or whatever with, the weird lighting and
Somebody,
do you know
yeah.
what I mean? And regret not saying yes and jumping because I've already
Mhm.
jumped before when I moved to New York. But I just, it was the hardest decision of my life. And it happened during the pandemic. So it was like, okay, maybe this is like an excuse to like, you know, decide
Mhm.
that, okay, I'm really going to do this. And I think I have a shot, but I have to do it smart if I'm really, really going to do this. And yeah, it's been one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make, but it's one of the first times in my life where everything seems like I'm doing it for me. And
Mhm.
every day I wake up and I'm like, nope, yep, if there's any chance, it's right now. Like I have nothing holding me back. And I'm so glad that I've said yes to myself. Does that make sense? And no
Yeah,
to other people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. So like that's one of the things early on. If you feel it, I tell them all the time, like don't ignore that. Like I mean, I graduated from college. I had a whole chemistry degree, and I remember literally going to my internship. Right before I graduated at a chemical plant, and I just every day I was just like, nah, this ain't. I don't see myself doing this every day. This ain't it. And graduated, and I just like I don't know what I want to do. I substitute taught. I did stuff here and there. Nothing was fulfilling. Of course, dance was like my life, and I taught. I mean, I coached the dance team, and I did. It was just like there's more for me. There's more, and what it's a hard thing of the sacrifice part is also like for me personally, I put off marriage or relationship and having a child when all of my college mates that graduated got married, had kids, had the beautiful wedding.
Everyone's got, the
Oh,
white picket fence,
I
they
was
got
in
the
everybody's
2.3
wedding.
kids. Like,
I
I'm
was in
just
everybody's wedding, bridesmaid. Happily, of course. Like the thing was, I was like, that's not my. I can't do it. I would regret. I will regret, and I'm about to be. I'll be this year. I'll be 47, and I know that had I went another route, not to say that you can't do whatever. I'll never say like, oh, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't have done whatever. but it just would have been a little bit more difficult. And at least some of the stuff that I know I was able to accomplish in that span, because it's a window. It's definitely a window, and we'll talk about that too. Like there is a window for us in this career as far as like the physical aspect of like wanting to dance and tour and all that kind of stuff. And you can dance forever. Like they got OGs right now on tour with Usher in their 40s, killing the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you can't dance forever. You can dance as long as you decide, as long as you physically. My best friends right now, they've been going on 3 decades with Christina Aguilera. Like, where we going? What city? What country? Next, hitting the road, killing it, killing the stages. So that means nothing. But if you already know, like, yeah, there are certain things that I want to do in this span of whatever, because you can be in this career forever. It always transitions to something else, from dance, choreography, creative direction, artists, directing, creative, like it's what producing. You can do whatever on camera. 70 and 80-year-olds on camera doing a movie. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So this thing will go on as long as you want it to. It's not an ending, right? As long as you know that, it helps. It's like, okay, I ain't gotta do it now. No, we got time. You can do it all. You can do it all. Okay. So don't feel like I'm running out of time. Everybody, oh my God, I'm like, you're how old? Get out of here. You got so much more to do, so much dancing. People be like, they're in their 30s, like, oh my God, I'm done. What are you talking about? I literally started my dancing in my 30s. Like, that's when I was like, oh, we getting here. I'm finally like feeling the groove in my 30s. In my 30s. So yeah, no, plenty of dancing. Tons of tours, tons of art. Like, get out of here. That age thing is like ridiculous. So that's okay. So you ain't gotta worry about that part. But yeah, everybody's path is gonna be different, but you have to know within you. Like you gotta listen to you. You can't listen to anybody else. Because all my family, except for my parents, all my outside family thought I was crazy talking about going to LA. They're like, what? Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. You got a whole degree. You need to go and get a job. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. My passion is telling me to go out here and go do this thing. So listen to what that is. Don't stray away from it for fear. Lean into it, chase it more because you feel it. If you wake up like, oh my God, like you at your job, at your whatever, you in class, I don't know. You just don't ignore that feeling because it's there for a reason. That's the gift that God has given you. So however you distribute that gift, it's your job to do. So I can't tell you you might end up doing directing. I don't know. You might end up producing. You might end up creative directing, choreographing, and dancing. I don't know, right? But you feel it. So why go against that to maybe do what somebody else is telling you should be doing, and that's not what you're feeling inside. So yeah, and you don't want no regret, because again, and we on this earth for however long, and so I'm like, let me at least fulfill my dreams to the fullest as much as I can, wherever I can, whenever I can, because it's not guaranteed. And I just want to I want to make sure you're happy, even in the struggle. That sounds crazy, but even in the struggle of it, you still will find a piece of happiness and joy, because it's something about me going after the thing that seems impossible. It's something about that versus I can do that job. This is easy. Y'all want me to do what? No, these papers, I mean, it's cubicle, or like this is okay, that's easy. That's like I ain't got to think about that. I ain't got to think about that. So, don't have no regrets. But I completely understand, and good for you, Tracy, because it's hard. It is very hard. This is not an easy thing to pursue. So, I don't never want anybody thinking it's easy and it's been a blissful. No, it's not. It's not. So, okay, yeah, let me hear some other sacrifices that you guys are planning, prepping, doing, enduring, whatever.
I'll go.
Mhm.
So I think for me, and thank you for that. Thank you for everything you just said. I can go to sleep peacefully. Because it was like you was taking it all out my brain. Because I'm always like, I'm the oldest one in the room. I'm still gonna go for it. I'm fortunate. I have an extremely amazing support system, and my daughter seeing me going after it, she's gotten excited about it. So that allows us to spend more time together. Um, and they'll, if I'm like, let's go, they'll move like my mom, my daughter, they'll be like, okay, I have a full-time job. I love my job. Anytime I'm allowed to make it creative because cybersecurity is boring, but it
Yeah.
pays well.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to a point now where I'll be at, and I only go in the office once a week, but I'll have my headphones in and
Mm-hmm.
they'll just see my feet going. And I'm just like, I'm going, it's got, everybody will just see my feet going or I'm doing something in
Yes.
my chair. And it
Yes.
got to the point where my senior vice president will ask me about TV, film, and dance. And I'm like, can you please ask me about something? Because I need this job. So, I get to ask me about something else. Okay. But I feel like that gives me hope about what they see a fire burning inside of me. I think because I have a daughter, the sacrifice would be the time away from her wanting to be on set. I've been on set. I've done background before. I've done some projects as a dancer. So those are long hours.
Mm-hmm.
So times where I want to be there with her, I think that would be my greatest sacrifice, being away from her, especially because she's just getting into those teenage years. So
Yeah.
it's like I need to be there.
Oh, that's so good. But you know what? I'm telling you, I feel the same way about my daughter. I'd be like, oh my God, like and I'll catch myself saying stuff out loud to her, whether it's like me, if I had long hours, if I had to work, whatever, whatever. And I'm telling you, they are looking at you. Your daughter's looking at you with so much pride. Like she's so proud because you are going after something, and she sees the desire and the passion, and also it motivates them. Like you don't even realize how you're teaching them. You think you actually have to always physically be there to teach. No, like they're learning just by watching and observing and seeing the hours you're putting in, seeing the extra effort, the work, the stuff that like, sometimes somebody doesn't really necessarily see, but they know. My daughter, she'd be like, they proud of you. She's definitely proud of you. And it's teaching them just having a mindset of like, don't feel like you have to depend on other people. I'm big on that, especially when it comes to companies. Because at any time, I had this speech with her all the time. Like at any time, somebody can decide they don't want to hire you. And that's just period. Even with the industry, at any point in time, they can say, "Hey, today is your last day," or "Hey, oh, this project that we was working on, it got canceled, postponed," and not let that be a reason why I do or don't do anything anymore. It's like, oh, okay, yes, this happened, but I got this thing on the side too. So like you and your daughter can have y'all own little hustle and bustle together. If it's something with dance, it's like brands create. We'll talk about that too throughout the program, but utilizing some of the things that you already have going on to create another stream of income that you can do together. Me and Kenny, I haven't done it. It's been like maybe a year or so, but we used to do like videos, of course, together, and that was a way for me to like spend time with her, if it was a TikTok or a challenge, whatever. Figuring out those pockets of moments to connect when you are knowing like, okay, I'm gonna be on set or I'm gonna be away for a length of time. Having those bonding moments, and especially if it's on video that you can like watch all the time or she can watch. So
Absolutely.
but she's gonna be super excited for you, especially during this process. Yeah, I'm excited for you. And yes, you ain't too old, child. Like, girl, bye.
I'm on the back end of 30s.
No matter. No, trust me. No, it's so funny. Like certain situations, there's going to be more of an asset for you than somebody newer. Like, depending on the job, especially when we talk about TV and film, there is no age limit with that. It's just like, I'm a dancer, but I act too, and this role requires this person to be this age range, woo, and who knows what that is. I always make the analogy like y'all going to be on stuff that ain't even created yet. Like it's pilot season now, so it's a show that might be in the works pre-production, and that's your role that you don't even realize, and it's going to be a lead, and she got to dance. She's got to be a dancer, whatever, like whatever the character is, I'll take it. So yeah, so don't even, you can let that all go out the window. Okay, next.
I can go by stuff like I needed a couple seconds to think. I don't know.
Yes.
So I think that my sacrifice will probably be similar to Dominique's now. I was gonna say money, but I guess it's always like a thing. Like because I was gonna say like I've always been saying that I need to put some focus and some more focus and time into heels classes or whatever, but I always like will take more hip hop classes and then I'm like, oh, another 20, $40 for heels class this week. And then I kind of like don't do it or like go like I should go. So I said I was gonna like at least for 8 weeks straight now, something like I'm trying to find like one heels class per week to do. But the hard thing now though, like I could have done that, like, but now I have a baby, so now it's like now I have to find somebody to be able to watch him. So now there's like another extra step. And then if my mom can't watch him, then now I'm gonna have to find somebody to pay to watch him. So now it's like when I could have just before I had a baby been in the class like with the extra 20, 40, now I gotta put an extra on top of that now to probably pay for somebody to watch him or something. So I understand like the sacrifice of like time, I guess, that may come, which is why now I'm just trying to like enjoy all the moments because I'm like, who knows? I might be flying out or something, but right now I'm all right here with him. But so yeah, the sacrifice would be that time and I guess just time, money, and then me, since I know how to do that, I gotta like find some extra side hustles or work and stuff. So then that extra time that I gotta put in now to be finding other work. Yeah. With all that stuff's planning out.
It's all I'll say, even like for me, I think I'm trying when I had Kennedy, I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's kind of just had baby, and I remember like I was trying to choreograph and dance still, and I had a baby. Like I vividly was like, hey, I mentally tried to get myself like back to do whatever, like to work, but I'm caring for my child, of course. So I was intentional about certain spaces I was in when it came to like just trying to get my body back and then I remember being on set, like I was breastfeeding on set for a video, like pumping milk and doing whatever, I needed to do in that period because I knew it wasn't gonna last. I knew it wasn't gonna be forever either. So know that this is just a season, this might be your season, and especially in this quarter 1, just getting mentally strong, for all of the things that's going to be on the way and spending this time, yes, with your baby because yes, they're young, but they're gonna go so fast. I mean, Kenny's 11 already. I'm like, you're about to be driving. It's like, where did the time go? So
I meant to tell you that too during the room. I didn't even recognize her until the second day. I was like, who is that? She's not a little girl anymore.
Yeah, no, it's gonna go by so fast. And if right now it may feel like but it's gonna be a window, and just be okay with the season that you are in, whatever that is. And that's really for everybody, but be okay with that season because you won't be there long. These kids go fast, and all of a sudden, you're back at it. So don't feel that. And I didn't even know you had a baby, so that part it's like, look like what?
I've been trying to keep it moving. I've been trying to like keep it moving, but I'm not moving as much. It slowed down. It slowed down.
You definitely don't look like you had a baby. from the time I last saw you to now, it does not look like you had a baby. So that's why I was like, when did
Thank
you
you.
have a baby? So that's kudos to you because that's amazing. But then also, like I said, I mean, it's such a short time. It's gonna go by so fast, you know, and do still be present and of course don't feel like, oh, I just gotta neglect everything because I'm trying to go after my dreams. No. But also just be aware, be present, do what you gotta do. But you know, you are still, I feel like today's an example, like you made it happen, you went to the audition. So you'll have those moments too. And those are milestones. Those are things you should like celebrate that. Don't feel like, oh, it's not it. Nah, you know what I'm saying? I came outside. It was a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It was cold, I'm sure, and a lot of people
Yeah,
just
yeah.
going.
Even though I didn't make it through though, I still appreciate and like that I was there, and I felt
Yeah,
like one of the because I did try to write some affirmations to get started. So one of them was like I put down what's for me won't pass for me. So when it didn't happen, I was like, it's okay. And I was thinking about it, like I said, I'm like I'm looking around like I don't be in heels class as much as these other girls. So like what like they deserve it. There's this for them. So and what's for me will be for me. So.
yeah. And yeah, and it's
Mhm.
okay. It's a you can always do your own personal assessments. That's you have to do that anyway. So
Mhm.
where am I? Okay, I'm in a situation where maybe I'm not, my heels technique is not where I want to be. Okay, now I know what I need to work on, and that's growth. So now if I know I killed the hip hop classes, I don't need to be up in there no more right now. This season, let me focus on the area that I feel like I might be weak in, and then that's how you get better. So next audition, you like, oh, I'm better now because I did some whatever I need to do from the last one. So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
okay, cool.
it was
Okay,
fun.
yeah. Either Melisha
I'll,
or go ahead.
I'll go. Um, for me, also hello everyone. For me, I think it's gonna be a big sacrifice on sleep this season. Um,
Oh,
and you just gotta do what you gotta do because I do have a day job. I work with dogs. And then the thing is, like, I come home and I take care of my own, like I came home just now, I whipped up his food really quick. But I think for me, it's definitely just gonna be sleep, like coming out of my job and then having to, and I've done it, go to class right after work, and sometimes you don't want to do it because you be tired and you got to wake up the next day, and then even after you come out of class, then and I live in New York, so the MTA is just not reliable. Okay, so that 30-minute trip could be an hour and 30 minutes. You just never know, and the later it gets, the worse it is. It's just terrible. It's just very unpredictable to say the
yeah.
least. But yeah, but it's just something is what I want to do. And even now, like sometimes I work 12-hour shifts and then I go to dance right after, and my coworkers be like, "You're crazy! Like you're really gonna go to dance right now?"
Yeah.
Yes, I'm really gonna go to dance right now because I don't want to
Crazy.
be doing this.
Yeah,
Okay, like
exactly.
6 months, a year from now, I try to look at the bigger picture because yes, I do be tired. Like it is a thing to wake up 5 a.m. so I could go to work at 7 a.m., get off at 7 p.m., and then go to class 8 o'clock. It is a lot. But I think about what I want in the future, and I know it is gonna be worth it for what I want to do, and I won't have to work this job forever. It's not always going to be me getting out of this job to go clock in for class. It's going to be now I'm on set. And
Right.
if that's what I want to do, then sleep has to be minimal for this moment in time. But yeah, I just have to make it happen. Even like now, I just got out of work and I rush home and then got on a Zoom because these are the things that are important for me.
Mhm.
But outside of my job is making these things possible right now. But
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now is gonna make my future careers and my dreams possible. So yeah, for me,
Yeah.
that's what it's gonna be.
No, absolutely. And to be honest, the sleep part, it really doesn't go away. Even when you're like so-called, oh my God, I'm working, it's like it's even worse. It's even worse than no sleep, and having the long you're mentally preparing though, which is okay. You're like, hey, I'm on this long job. you said 12 hour, 10 hour, 12 hour, whatever. It's the same. It's equivalent to you going to work to rehearsal. You know, obviously it'll be like, oh my God, I'm happy to be here and I love dancing, yada, yada, yada. But it's still work. It's still, you know, it's sometimes you ain't going to enjoy it. It ain't going to be pleasant. It ain't going to be like, I love being. You're going to be like, I'm ready to go. I'm tired. You know, it's going to be that. My neck, my back, my knees, like you're going to have all that too. So it's like a mental shift that you're already doing it. You're already operating in, yes, I'm going to class after this shift I just had for 12 hours to go train, to get ready, because that's really what you're going to be doing. Yes, I just had this 8 to 10 hour rehearsal and we have a show tomorrow night. That's, you know, it's a 30-minute set and we got the tech rehearsal and we got to be at the tech rehearsal at 7 a.m. because, you know, it's a morning show. Like, you know, it's a psychological thing, because not every job that you're going to be doing is going to be like the most convenient or the most like fun, or yes, it's my dream, but it's still work. So I'm still tired. I still have not slept. And we got this tech rehearsal in the morning, and I gotta look like I'm trying to be something because they got these cameras out here. So it ain't me just showing up, rolling out of bed. No, I gotta look like I'm trying to be a superstar. You know, I have to be a star, regardless if I'm dancing with an artist or not. So like your mental shift is literally already happening. So it won't feel such of a shock when you do have your rehearsals or when you are on set for 12 hours. You know, it's like, oh, it's been really scary sometimes when you've had to, like, if you work on a show like a set for 12 hours and then, like, let's say the next day, like, it's cutting it close because you got another show that you was available for, and like, but I'm not getting off set till after 2 a.m. But you know, we leaving out, you know, flights leaving at 8, like, it's no sleep, and it's all gonna make sense. You're gonna be like, well, I done been here before. I've been here before. This ain't nothing new. I'm used to operating at a very high, you know, level already. So now when you start working, it's not gonna feel so like, oh my God, ain't nobody tell me I was gonna feel like this. No, you've already been there. So, you know, as crazy as that sounds, you saying, yes, I'm going to class after, you are in your training for your real job, which will be on set, or, you know, in this rehearsal for this show with this artist, or, you know, working this choreographer, whatever, like whatever the thing is, you will already be ready because you've been doing it. You didn't even realize it. Yeah, but welcome. It ain't gonna change either. It's never, it doesn't end. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever been like, I've had so much sleep. I can count maybe on 3 fingers, but like I don't remember of all these years being like, I've had so much rest on a job. Even when it's like blissful type of job, it's like you still at work. This call time, this lobby call, this rehearsal, whatever it is, it ain't gonna be always convenient. But you know, you might be in paradise. So that's just a part of the dream. That's all. And then sometimes it is, you got days off and then you still gonna be out and about. So, you know, just be ready for it. But yeah, you just getting ready for the real thing. That's all. Okay, Miss Donnie.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
I know, honestly, something that I'm preparing for mentally and physically is just the transitioning of moving, because I'm a senior this year in college. I'm graduating in May. So
Yes.
I'm a senior, and it's kind of like not even just moving to like a different city or state. It's just like moving into adulthood. Like, and then it's like so used to being near my village, being near my mom. Like, I appreciate my mom. My mom is such a like good support system. And I know where I definitely want to go is Atlanta. So it's just like that adulthood of like you looking at them prices on the condos and stuff, and you like, oh my God. And then you just trying to make sure you'll be financially stable, like have a job in place so you could still be able to pay your bills and stuff. So just for me, it's like just the nerves of coming, like the nervousness of it, and like having the right people to trust, because it's like not that much people I know in Atlanta. So it's like just finding the right people you can connect with, finding the right talent agent that you will be able to trust, because it's like I'm also the type too, I have trust issues. So like I don't really want nobody, especially like a talent agent, to get over on me when it comes to like contract or anything like that, because it's like all of that is new to me. So it's like I honestly don't know what I'm doing. So it's just like just finding that right support system and right people that you could trust, like just in a new city and state.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely for everybody, just, I would say take it slow. Like don't feel like there's a rush in this process or even on your journey. Like I said, you have somewhat made a commitment to this career or whatever profession. So, it's like it's as long as you say it is. It's not, there is no rush to have everything figured out immediately or right away, but also um taking your time to like connect and get to know people, meet people, building relationships. I'm big on that. So some of the people that you meet in the beginning, you'll have lifelong relationships with that will also contribute to your jobs and your profession and your career path. So people that I met when I first started, like I'm still close with people that have hired me from the beginning, have always come back or referred me or, bring my name up to other opportunities that they felt, may be great for me or for that project. So you thinking about that in the beginning also, and knowing some things aren't going to happen overnight or happen right away or click right away. It's going to be, okay, I'm also learning and figuring this out. Some of the stuff you won't have to figure out as much as you go, because you will know about it. You will understand how it works, versus going in blind or like not understanding how people operate, what the expectations are for certain roles, whether it's a choreographer, agent, producer, director, another dancer, figuring your peers, figuring out all of the like the little moving parts. It's kind of how we will be more so operating, and you're just learning about everything, a little bit about everything as much as possible. Some stuff you're going to learn obviously when you're experiencing it, but a lot of the things will be more, oh, okay, I remember talking about this, or I remember us having a discussion about whatever, or oh yeah, I heard about this. Like it's gonna be that versus what is this? Ain't nobody saying nothing about these papers, this tech rehearsal. I don't understand. That's when things kind of go left sometimes, or you're like, dang, I wish somebody would have gave me a little bit of a heads up, for this, because this is a lot. So I'm gonna always like do my best when it comes to certain conversations and topics so that you are fully aware, but also be open to not just receive, but just like experience it, whether it's good or bad. Sometimes it's bad. You're like, oh my God, what is this that's going on? I gotta do what? And then sometimes it's great. It's like, oh my God, that was amazing. Like, yes, I love that. Like, you have to go through that. So good, bad, ugly, whatever. It's going to be there. But regardless of that, these are all things that I'll just keep, I'll emphasize just making sure you're clear on when you are going after this dream. So, we said these are our sacrifices, some of the sacrifices between relationships, family, traveling, or, relocating, no sleep. I have kids. You might be married, divorced, boyfriend, girlfriend, just, living situations, car, transportation, list is endless, right? But these are some of the things that will help be a reminder if needed when you are in the trenches of whatever, and like, hey, I'm doing this because, you know, I whatever X, Y, and Z. That will help propel forward when you are like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And we all be needing those reminders. I still be like, why am I doing this again? Okay, you know, and then always go to what you love. If you love something, you know, if you feel strongly about it, don't let anything or anybody deter that. Go fully into whatever it is that you're wanting. If you are saying you want to do this, just go all in as much as possible, like in the process. And when I say be open, just like be open to for whatever, you know, you just don't know. It's like, okay, oh, I thought I wanted to do this, and now actually this is actually kind of dope over here. Let me see what they talking about over here because I like it. You know what I'm saying? But so you know the dream, you've got an idea of what it is now, and you've decided some of the sacrifices that we are understanding. Hey, I'm sacrificing this, and know that it's only for a period. Sometimes it may not be, it's not forever, but it may just be like, hey, this quarter or this year or this month or whatever. You know, I'm sacrificing no sleep. You know, I'm gonna get up because I said I want to do. So you know, food. Hey, you know, hey, I'm sacrificing saving money, so I ain't gonna be eating out like I do normally. So whatever. So whatever your sacrifices are, you know, write it down, say it, put it in the journal. Say these are the things, and so that you can come back and read these things later and be like, oh my God, I remember when I did that, this, that, and the other to do this. So write that in a journal, and then also talk about like what are some of the things that when you saying, okay, I know I got to go after my dream, the sacrifices, there's also going to be things that I got to do to like make it a reality. So what are you willing to give up, or what are you willing to like, it's still sacrificing, but like for instance, for me, when I moved, I thought my look was a certain thing and it wasn't. It was like, nah, this is the look that you need. And so I was leaning into like, okay, let me figure out what my look is and trusting that process, even if I felt that wasn't my look, you know, like, oh, well, somebody's telling me this is my look. So sometimes it's what do I want to look like? Okay, if I'm saying I want to dance for such and such and such and such, what does that look like already? Who's dancing with these people? What do they look like? What do they wear? What's their shape? What's their height? What's they look like? What is the aesthetic? I gotta like study that. So I can't say, oh, I want to dance such and such, but I really haven't like looked at what that looks like. Who are these people? What are they doing? Oh, they working out. Oh, okay, shit, I need to go work out. You know, like, are they like their bodies look like this? Okay, I need to try to get my body like that. Or they're like, oh, they always do something that's super super like eccentric. So, you know, like Lady Gaga. Okay, Lady Gaga, if I want to dance Lady Gaga, I gotta see what Lady Gaga dance is looking like and what's that aesthetic. I can't go and say I want to dance for Gaga, but all the things sound like I want to dance for Missy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not making sense. If I'm saying I want to do this, these are some of the things I have to be prepared to either change, adjust, like try out, whatever. It's gotta be in alignment with what I'm saying my dream is. And we just have to be really intentional about that. And that can change also. It can be like, oh well, you know, this month, you know, I want to dance for such and such. So I want to make sure that I'm presenting myself in a way that looks like I'm trying to dance for such and such. You know, it can't be I want to dance for a sexy artist, but I wear bummy clothes all the time. I never have my hair done, makeup done, nothing, and I just whatever. But I'm saying I want to dance for this artist that always has sexiness around them. So I got to figure that out. You have to really be intentional about the job that you are seeking. So if I was going for this job, I'm going to go into the job looking like the part or making sure I'm trying to come as close to the thing that I want to do. You can't say I want to do this, but it's giving opposite of that. It's not giving you really want to do that. It's giving I don't know, or you're leaning towards this area versus this. So how do I get myself together? So these are things that I can control. I can control when I get up, work out, take care of myself, eat right, whatever, get my hair done, whatever that is for you. It ain't got to be all that. But if it's like, hey, I want to dance for such and such, okay, what do those dancers look like? I'm actually going to go look and see what they got on, what they wear, how they dress, what they doing, what's their routine. Like I'm really getting into it. So this is the working part. I got to work all this stuff. I got to really go and like be more intentional on how I want to be seen and perceived if I'm saying this is what I want to do, depending on what that specific thing is. So if I want to do a commercial, I want to do commercial work, I want to be on TV. What do those actors look like? What are these models like? What are they? What's the thing that they're doing so that I can be in alignment with that? If I want to work with a certain company or brand or whatever, you just have to start being a little bit more like specific on that and then start working that part. So for me, like I knew I had to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to go on tour. Okay, can you run on this treadmill for 30 minutes straight and be good? Cause you can dance, that's cool, but you ain't nobody's class ever gonna have you dancing for 90 minutes. Like I'm talking about routines back to back, like 10 minutes straight, 15 minutes, 10. Like I'm talking about them kind of dancing. Full out, where? Good luck. The room, we try to create that, but where are you going to? You not. So you have to get training, just like how track, field, football, basketball, baseball, like they be in 2 a-days, they boot camping it up. They doing what they got to do. Why? Because they trying to win the Super Bowl. So they are training, they are doing what they have to do to get this goal. So we as dancers, if I'm saying I want to go on tour, hey, so that means I can't be at the crib on the couch just chilling. No, I'm getting up, I'm going to work out, I'm going to the gym, I'm running every day. Every day I'm running. I am doing some type of freestyle dancing every day because I want to go on tour. So like we got to start, if I want to be an actress, but I have never done I ain't looked at nobody's scripts before. I ain't did no type of self-tapes ever. I don't even understand what you mean by slate. I don't even know what that is. I've never done that. But I'm saying I want to be an actress, so actor on a TV series. I don't want to just dance. I want to act too, but I've never actually done a monologue. I've never did like a skit. I've never like practiced a reading with somebody with sides. Like it don't make sense. So I have to, whatever I'm saying I want to do, I'm making sure that it's in alignment with what I'm actually doing, working towards. So my dream is to be on television as an actress. So in order for me to make that happen, I got to start working the dream. I got to actually go to somebody's acting class. So I got to go on YouTube University and get some scripts, some monologues. I got to practice doing my little self-tapes. It could be at home, get my iPhone, pop it up, and just talk to the camera, do my little scenes that's my favorite scene from a TV show. I don't care, but I'm working towards the dream of mine to be an actress on a TV show. I'm dying to be on BET Awards. Like I gotta get on the stage. That's like a dream of mine. But I'm never actually watching the show. I don't even know like, well, when is it? What part of the time when they film it? I don't know nothing about it, but I want to be on BET Awards. No, my dream is to be on the BET Awards. So I'm about to find out who is going to be on the BET Awards, what past artists have performed, like who are the dancers that's been on there. I'm like, I have learned the show performances. Oh, I know them things, but I know them, like I can play it and do the routines because I've been watching that. So what is your regimen of working towards the dream? Besides going to take somebody's dance class, that ain't enough. Okay, so I need more. I need you to be like, yeah, did this class, but I also pulled up this video from when such and such performed on BET Awards, and I actually learned it from my TV or from my computer or from my phone. Like that was my class at the crib. I actually learned all the choreo. So I know the routine to Chris Brown, whatever, I'm just like, whatever your artist is, you have watched something of theirs and you said you want to dance with them. So go learn that, get in the practice of learning the thing that you want to do. That will help clear everything up. It's like, this is my dream, and how I'm going to work this dream. I'm going to make sure I'm working out every day. I'm going to make sure I am keeping this as a regimen. I walk outside and I listen to all of their music, so I'm already imagining myself on the tour. What is the thing that you are saying you're doing that is working towards the dream? And when you are doing that, you're still envisioning everything happening. So you were like, yes, I can see myself in the arena. I see myself on BET stage to millions, on the TV, whatever. I'm on my tour bus. I'm envisioning all that. I'm obsessed. That's all. It literally goes back to that. I'm obsessed with everything about it. So, and it don't have to be all of that. It can literally just be like the one thing right now. I'm really focused on booking BET Awards. Like I got to get on a live show. Like I'm just whatever. And it might be VMAs, it might be Grammys, it might be Billboard, iHeart, whatever award show you want to be on, or all of them. I want to be on all of them. So I want to be on all of them. So now that's what I'm working towards. So figure that out. You don't have to just be like, I just want to dance. It's like, no, I want to dance on BET Awards 2025. Okay, great. So now we got clear on that. I want to dance on VMAs 2025 in September, whatever the date is, wherever they filming it at. These things are already pre-planned. You can start Googling and looking it up and knowing what's happening so that you can just start wrapping your head around, these are the things that I want to do. It got to get a clear vision. So from there, now I understand that. I understand the sacrifice. I'm clear on not, and you don't know everything you want to do now, so you don't have to figure all that out, but you can start somewhere. I have been clear on how I'm defining what my dream looks like. For me right now, I see myself going on tour. And so how do I get on tour? These are the things I want to start putting in place. These are some of the artists that I would love to tour with. These are some of the choreographers that I would love to work with, or these are some of the dancers that I would love to dance with. Dancers kind of help you get booked on jobs before choreographers do. I'm telling you, the dancers will get you on the job before a choreographer hires you, because most choreographers, if they already have dancers, they just ask the dancers, who is the dancer that needs to be on this job if I need to hire dancers, and then they just refer you. So figure out who those people are that that will vouch for you, or that you want to dance with, or a sit, whatever. Figure out those people, and then be ready for not just the sacrifice part where we talked about the no sleep and the hours and the kids and the relationship and all that. That's going to be there. But then once you actually get the dream, then you still got to be like, woo, okay. My neck, my back, my knees, oh my God, my head, my stomach, it'd be like, oh, my ankle, my hamstring, I need the ice, it's like my rib, it's all of the stuff that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's not, this ain't fun for me. I'm in pain, or, I miss my family, or whatever you might be by yourself. Whatever you might be going through, life is going to show up. And so now we got to deal with that. I still have to find my love for this thing that I said I wanted to do in the midst of things that don't feel good, that don't make me necessarily happiest, or, I'm sleep deprived. And so how do I find the joy in the dream right now? Because I ain't had no sleep and I'm like beyond exhausted. but I'm in the middle of the dream job that I wanted, or this is my dream artist, this is my dream opportunity, whatever. How do I find the joy in the midst of that? And that's when you have to find the love. Why am I doing this? It's always going to be a question mark. Why am I doing this? Because I can't see myself doing nothing else. I love this so much. However, this has, shown up. This is how I'm supposed to be doing it. And you got to find the love even in the midst of the long hours. I'm exhausted, my neck and my back. I'm in physical pain. So that's a whole nother thing. I'm in physical pain in the midst of the thing that I love doing. How do I get through that part? That is difficult because you can be on set at 3 a.m. hurt, tired, exhausted, but you're on your dream job. It's a TV show. Remember, we talked about All American, my favorite show that I wanted to be on. And guess what? You booked it. Rhapsody booked you, and it was full out choreo. Y'all was killing it, and your ankle hurt or your back or something went out and your neck and whatever. And you have to push through the pain of the dream that you have desired. How do you do that? Most people don't understand how that works. They're like, they have checked out. It's like, hell nah, my shit fucked up. I ain't doing this shit. Woo de woo. And so they're gone. They have left the dream. The dream is over. Okay. They're like, I can't deal with that. And we have to dig deep in finding the resilience to continue to push through to, like, this is dream opportunity. I always say, how would you be if you were in the rehearsal with Beyonce? Okay. Guess what y'all doing? We gonna push through this shit. We're about to figure out how to get through. Why? Because I'm in my dream job. No, we gotta figure this out. I'm in a rehearsal with Beyonce. That's a high job that everybody dreams of having. So, you gonna figure it out. You're not about to be like, man, I'm tired. Shit, I ain't let them. No, you're not. You're not. So you gotta apply that type of energy to all the jobs. It can't just be the Beyonce job, because that ain't how it works. We want to see how you're gonna be on the job that ain't Beyonce first. If you're gonna be like that on the job that ain't Beyonce ain't never coming. Beyonce ain't never coming. And I'm using Beyonce as you fill in the blank, whatever that job is for you. But if you like that on this job and you talking about I ain't doing this because this too much, Beyonce's never coming, because Beyonce's gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5 times worse. You're gonna be dealing with anxiety, with stress, with pressure to, like, that's a whole nother level of expectation. So how we operating at this job right here has to be just like it's a Beyonce job. I don't care that it's the new artist or, this is brand new, whatever. I'm pushing through whatever, because I know when the Beyonce job comes, I'm going to have to push through even worse. So let me mentally prepare. My ankle hurt right now, or I got a hamstring, or my back, I got a headache, whatever your thing is. Y'all won't ever be on jobs that's just like blissful and there is nothing. I'm not tired. It's great. It's amazing. Butterflies, rainbows. Yay. Like, nah. Tired, hungry, exhausted, life, stress. I'm just throwing all the worst that could possibly happen and say you still got to show up and be in love. In love with this whole situation. That's how it works. And so the quicker you're able to, like, get into those type of spaces mentally, emotionally, it attracts more of that type of job, as far as just it being a pleasant experience, being like a dream come true, literally, for you. And that will make this journey and career better. It won't feel like, oh my God, it won't feel like that's going to feel like, no, yeah, I can handle it. I'm ready for whatever, I'm ready for the Beyonce type of job. I'm ready for that, platinum artist job, because I understand what the expectations are and I love it, good, bad, indifferent, regardless. And I'm going to work regardless of what type of job it is. So, you know, everybody isn't able to do that, but that is something that I think is necessary for you to start building up inside of you as you continue on and say, you know, I want to do something I'm really trying to do seriously. People will take you much more seriously. They will see that, they recognize that, and they're like, yeah, this is somebody that I'm trying to have booked all the time or working in the room or whatever. If you have the attitude of like, yeah, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, in the least bit of whatever, I'm out, you ain't gonna make it. Ain't gonna make it, because it's gonna be easy to quit. It's gonna be easy to be like, yeah, that's too much. I ain't trying to do all that. My knee hurts, so nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, my back. Yeah. No, your knee, my back, whatever. I'm still about to be on this tour with Sierra. Yes. I'm about to be on this show with Missy. I'm about to be on this performance with whoever your person is. So think about that. You know, think about what we talked about, your sacrifices, but also write in your journal some of the things that you already are preparing to adjust. It could be, yeah, I got to fix my hair because I know this look isn't for me, so I need to whatever. Or, hey, I got to make sure like what's my look? We'll talk about all that too, but like, what's my feeling and vibe when I walk into the room? You know, I got to adjust that. It's like, hey, I want to be considered a sexy dancer too. I don't want to just be considered like a hip hop girl. So I'm prepared to make sure that I can showcase that side of me, whether it's pictures, whether it's content, whatever. Just being okay with whatever those adjustments are, and loving this dream of yours through and through, good and bad, ups and downs, because they will be there. I still love it. I still am like in love with it. I'm still gonna continue on and make sure that I am showing up in the best way possible that is of, you know, excellence. And I'm going to always do my best. Every day is not going to be 100%, but I'm going to make sure that it's a little bit towards getting better, whatever that is. So if that's me getting my stuff together, my look together, my presentation together, whatever, I'm doing that. Me, okay, I really gotta go to the gym, you know, okay, I've been putting that off. Or yes, I know I said I was going to make sure that I whatever, now I'm getting ready to do it. And everybody is different, so you know, there isn't a specific thing, but you know what it is. You know, it could be as simple as I gotta get my pictures. I've been putting off doing my little reel or content, or you know, whatever your thing is, figure that out, and then give yourself a timeline. So by this time, I want to have this, and this at least started, you know, and then so that you have acknowledged it, you have written it down, you're like, I'm aware that I know I got to do this and that and the other. And we're not just kind of like whatever. Nah. Like, we know what we need to do. So if we're trying to go do this show and that show, this job, this artist, this choreographer, in order for me to get to those places, these are some of the things I'm gonna have to work on and adjust and fix or whatever. So whatever that is for you, make sure you write it down in your journal and start thinking about how I'm going to get it done. What does that look like for me? I know I want to have my hair this way. What am I doing to do it? Get it done. And when? You know, give yourself a timeline. So yeah, so that is our kind of overview of getting a little bit clear on your dream. Don't feel overwhelmed thinking you got to know what the dream is fully, like in details yet. You may not know because you may not have really thought about it as deeply as I'm asking you to do it. But now I definitely want you to start thinking about it. And if you are clear on it, you know, make sure you are writing it down. And now with that, what are some of the steps that you think you can be doing towards it? So it's not enough for us to think about it and write it down, but now how do we kind of execute or try our best to get towards that goal or those goals or those dreams? Because we can create a strategy behind it. It's simple sometimes, easier than you think. And y'all have all the access right now because I didn't have social media. So the fact that y'all even have access to these folks in the palm of your hand is like incredible. Okay, just letting it be known, it's amazing. Awesome. So not just artists, not just choreographers, and not just dancers, but like companies, brands. You know, it's a little great situation that we do all have now. So we'll be going in a little bit more detail than that as well during the program. But yeah, so let's get clear on the dream. Let's write out your sacrifices, but also some of the things that you know you're gonna have to work on and you're kind of preparing for as you move forward. And then what's the next steps? How are we gonna execute some of this stuff, or what's some of the steps that we know we're gonna have to make in order to make it happen. And sometimes it's gonna be scary if it's like, ooh, I gotta hit Jaquel up. Ooh, okay. How are we gonna do that? How are we gonna hit him up? What are we doing to make sure we are ready before we hit him? What are we doing before that? So we're not gonna just hit him because I want to make sure stuff is in order. But yeah, okay, cool. So that's all for tonight. I don't know I'm in Georgia. I don't know if is this snowing in New York? No, that's good. You sure? I feel like I saw somebody going live and it was like
It
no.
snowed yesterday, I think it was, for a little bit. But today it's just cold. It's just ice everywhere.
Okay. Today
Yeah.
or tomorrow it's supposed to snow in Atlanta. We'll see. But everybody's preparing for a little freeze down here. So y'all not alone. I'm like, oh Lord, come on now. So yeah, wherever you guys are, please be safe. Stay warm. California is on fire, so they need water. They need rain so bad. So yeah, it's like it's a lot going on with the climate. But yeah, but you guys have an amazing rest of your night and weekend. Please stay warm, be safe, and I'll see you guys back on Tuesday.
Good
Cool.
night. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.